Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today is another flip through day. I have a journal that I got done that's sort of a steampunk oriented one. I had a bag, of course, of all these things, steampunk oriented, and I didn't realize I had it. I'd already done a couple steampunk items before, and I guess maybe these items did not fit in the one that I did previously, the lap book. So I had to do another one. So this journal has like a 2-inch border on it, and I'll get to it in a minute. The flip through item of the day is this little paper bag journal that I just did. Of course, the digital image came out a little wonky in color because I'm almost out of yellow. So it came out more of a purpley violet color. So I said, well, I need to do another kind of a purple oriented. And I had these lilacs. These were from the Dollar Tree. And so I just decided to do that. And Wayne, thank you, Wayne, sent me all these stampings. And I had all of these mailing sort of postal stampings. So that's what I've got there. Now the back is just another page, or actually the other side of this page. Okay, so we're going to do the flip through real quick. And as you see, it had all these different kind of little puffy type of stickers on that one lilac page. And then I had another page that had different colored wax seals, which I thought went perfectly for a postal thing. So I cut out and used a little bit of vintage photo around the outside of each one of the pieces. Like there's a ticket and there's carte postale. I don't know if I'm ever saying that correctly. And then inside is like a little kind of a maroon, pinky kind of a color. So yeah, in here you can see I had a few more pages of this, and then there's the same situation. I have stamps and cancellation, stamping, some destination. So it kind of turned out kind of cute. Of course, there's plenty of room to write in here, and also on the... Now, this one only has one, and I may end up having cut and made another one of these before I take it to the shop. I don't know. So that may get filled. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. It's got a little collage in an upper corner or lower corner, and I think the colors fit. I got the green because there's a few stems with some green on them, and that worked out good with this little heat emboss. Wayne did a few heat embossed elements. I had another one back here somewhere that he had done. Oh, it's the one on the front, the postcard. Yeah. So that was that. I really like how that turned out. That'll go back here. I also have another journal back there that I just got done. That's a Stamperia one. If you're wondering why I'm only doing flip throughs, I don't know. I'm having a situation now with my brain. I don't know. I just want to sit here and piddle. And I don't, you know, it takes a lot to film. You really don't know what it takes out of a person to film. I have steps to go through, and I don't have any of that fancy stuff where you stop and then start again and then splice, and yeah, I just don't do that. I had this one little lock mechanism left over. It's just like a keyhole. That's all it is. It's I got it at Michael's, but I think that's where I got it. And I have to look and see if I can find them again. They've had a lot of redos since then. And then I had this container of all these different little gear elements. I don't even know what some of these things are. That almost looks like a little magnifying glass, but it's got numbers around it. There's like a wheel with a bolt in it. And then there's some little cogs. So I just kind of put them together with these really large findings that I had. The jump rings. And then here is one little piece that actually opens up. And I guess you could stick a little hidden note or something inside there. I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance. And what's holding this is a smaller jump ring around one of those hitch ball fasteners, as you can see. I screwed it in from the back side there, and it actually holds it shut. Instead of having, it did gape a little bit, but you know, I didn't want it to like be like that. So this little bit of weight really holds it flat. So instead of doing a full closure, if you wanted to, you could do some kind of a weighted element on the outside of your journal that would hold it flatter than, you know, what it rests at. So there's an idea there. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use an idea like that to hold the journal shut. Okay, this big tag, it's on the outside here. I had made that a while back. It's all these different little pieces and parts. It's like a base paper from a Tim Holtz paper pad. And then I printed out the hat, these little pieces here. I put the butterfly on there and status, this little card behind here. There's a piece of ruler, one of those fill labels. There's a piece, and it's some stamping. So you can see I really added to it. This big 3, it's in behind here. All of those were additions. So you can see how it kind of added to the look. Then these pieces were in my steampunk elements. So I used some of my alcohol ink and just poured it over top of that. And this as well. And this was from some kind of a digital with steampunk elements in it. The last 2 ones that I've shown you. And I really like the brick, the outside brick. Now this is that same idea where it's a single layer of a pizza box, and I covered it front and back. And then this piece on the front is added. It's just like a 6x9 that's added to this piece that's extended from the back, making a tuck. That was a lot of description. Okay, so some of these are old pieces I've made long ago. Like this is typewriter, and I put this here. This was actually from the back of the rub-ons for the Tim Holtz stuff, and I just cut it out. It showed you the 2 pieces that were, you know, making up what's inside of the package you purchased. So I thought that would work just fine right there. And look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I love that. And it had a great back on it too. So this, I had a whole bunch more of those letters. Remember that pack I showed you? Oh, maybe the last video I did. But I had a lot of these left over to do another journal with. So I got it all into here. So I have a big collage made here. This has got keychain, and then I have some like a gear and the medicinal kind of things, some puffy stickers that I had from the Dollar Tree, like pieces from that Hobby Lobby kit that I bought long ago that had all those little ephemera pieces in it. And then I've got, you know, colors. Just this is something I dyed. This is something from a paper pad, the thin papers, and I just sprayed the back, and all of that makes these up. Some of these are just scraps to make pockets with. These are some of those puffy stickers again. This one, I made that one a long time ago. Now I do have the stamp for that, and I put a button there, and then I have a die that's got all these little gears on it. And yeah, it's kind of cute. I made a whole bunch of those one time. And then I had these ties that are like kind of a leather cording kind of a thing. I can't remember where I got this arch, but I cut out a whole lot of gears one time on this gold metallic, and I kept it. So I just decided to make that the background for the window. And then I had a few little bolt heads, I guess that's what they are, from Tim Holtz stuff. And I did the same thing where I put a little bit of the alcohol ink on there and dyed it. And I just, for decoration. And then here we go. Here is a True Gentleman. I thought that would go with this. And I'm trying to remember where I got these. Was it one of you girls that sent it to me? I've got a bunch of those in here. They had to do with traveling and some with, you know, steampunky kind of things. Here's some binoculars, another big collage. And this one has a few of the findings from that Mente pack that I had. I need to get another one of those Mente packs. I really loved that one. It had so many cool elements in it. Another foam writing piece. Yeah. As you can see, I just kind of sit here and just piece. This one was a label. And yeah, they just kind of come together. You just kind of figure out who to put behind who, and then it goes on from there. This is from that really old paper pad that I had. It was on the front cover. So I kind of just cut it and made it a pocket. And here's one of those little trifold things. I don't know what you really call them. I can't remember if I saw that from Scrapbooking with Me or if that was Gail Augustinelli. Somebody did it. And what you do is you have this piece of paper and you fold it 3 ways, and then you glue it to something here, like a harder piece, and then you glue it to another one. Now I made a little pocket on that side, and then you're able to journal inside of it. It's very easy. I've still got to make the file cabinet. I know. But if you'd like to see me make one of these, I'll do that too, because that's really, really simple. Just let me know. Now this, I was cutting out the postal things on the back, and I never realized this beautiful thing was on the front side. That was from Wayne. So I cut it out to make it a big tag. I really like that. And then this piece, I had a lot of these letters. A lot. So on the back side, I've got the square letters. They're not saying anything. There's no words. They're just on there. And I just sat there and glued them all. And on this side, I have the round ones. So I decided to put that as the center of this, signature. It's 3 signatures, but really it's only 2 because the middle one is a file folder. You'll see that here in a second. This is just a paper bag I stuck in there. Or no, that's some of that wrapping paper, I believe. What is that? Well, it's craft paper. This was from Scrapbooking with Me. I'll get it out here in a second. Yeah, Scrapbooking with Me. She gave a freebie one time that had this, and I've kept that in my, digital files for a long time. Another one of these pages, but these are like smaller square letters. And here is a journal card that I made one time with just pieces and parts. That was a sticker. And these pretty girls. And yep, that's all it is. And here's another one of those. Roam if you want to. One of those journal cards somebody sent me. And there is a puffy, I don't even know what the thing is. It looks like a keyhole. Okay. I do have a little bit of like notebook paper in here. I was going through some of my my journals from my trips, and I noticed I'd left a lot of notebook paper at the back of 1 or 2 of them. That says Rusty. And I've got that guy in a frame. Now this is a file folder, a whole file folder. And I scored it down the center. And then I have sort of, dyed it or, rubbed some ink around the outside edges of the inside and out. And then I used this beautiful page on either side of it so it's covered, but it's also a big pocket. So you can use it as a pocket if you want. And I've got this on the tag up here, Winter Balm. I really love the colors in that one. And here's the back signature. Now I made a belly band. You sweep me off my feet. I made this belly band out of some old Christmas paper and this bow tie that I had made. I made that for, there's something I've made with it before, which is exactly this, a belly band. And I must have kept that one for here. I don't even know what I put in my pouches sometimes. Now this says gears, but it's got, well, and you know, you have different gears for like a 10-speed bike. So I put a bike down here. I put a pair of scissors, I just felt like, witch hazel, and some gauges. And here is a, whoop, and I left that on the back side of it. Whoops. This was some mixed media stuff I was doing one time. I've got some of the crackle paste down here at the bottom. And this is a stamp set that I have. And I colorized it. And then I had some stamps of these big letters back there. And then I've got like a vellum that had a stamped ticket on it. So that's what I made with that. And then down here at the bottom, I've got a watch, a puffy, no, compass, a puffy compass, and I don't know, gears, I guess. Now this piece over here, here's another one of those tags that I made way long ago. And yeah, instead of cutting these off, I actually just folded them. Or no, I didn't fold them. I actually had these triangles, I guess. So I put the triangles there, and I put 2 triangles there. Okay. So long ago, I can't remember what I did. And then this is one of those, I think they're called an interwoven pocket. Gail Gustinelli, I saw her do them first. And I had a bunch of those nail heads. And I just used those up here. So I've got them on the tags themselves. And this was something about you were to do, you can make it all out of an 8.5 by 11 or something. I can't remember. But these are from the cutoffs of the ends or something. I can't remember how that worked. But yeah, just look up interwoven pockets and you'll find it. Especially on her page. And here's an hourglass, a suitcase, and I've got junk. More suitcases. I guess traveling has to do with steampunk elements quite often, so that's why I have those in here. Here's the middle of my signature. And then back here, here's another one of those journal cards somebody sent me. I did do a little bit of vintage photo around those. And You're Amazing with one of those cool looking cars. Down here, I've got just like it's almost like a handle of an old dresser or something. And as you can see in the back, this is from that really old paper pad I had. Sort of like a mirror, I guess. Oops. It has a blimp. I think that's what that is, a blimp. Over here, I had, this is from my art journal, and it has, you know, where you rip it out. So I took the stencil that I showed you way back here where the arch, I can't remember where it's at. It's where the arch was. Well, anyway, I used it as, oh, here, this. I used that as a stencil first and did this, and then I glued it in there. I did put a piece of paper in behind here just so it would tuck in this real easy, and then that was a piece from long ago. I think it's a baby carriage or a time machine. I ain't sure which. Now, this was a piece that I made from a template from Scrapbooking with Me. And it's where it's got a great big tag in it. And then it's almost like a coin pocket in a way. But it had a window. So I've actually got some, I think this is some glitter paste that I got. It's like Martha Stewart. But I have a few gears. I have a watch, a saw blade, and a razor blade. And here's what was inside. This is just like a group of people. And whiskers and mustaches. I don't know. I was just making something up with what I had. So this actually just tucks back in here. Ooh, and then it tucks in here. I made this from Rug Ripper on my deck. I can't remember which. Oh, this is the better side. Because see how it kind of pulled in certain spots and made a darker impression. I really love that. This says keys. And then I have another one of these tags with, these are just little cutoffs and things that I had left over playing around on my desk. So I decided to put them on here. Now this is the outside border of that one puffy kit. Now I had another one that had this globe on it, and I thought that worked out pretty good. So I think that might be it. Oh, I got a little bit more. I got grunge here. I got a banjo, or a violin. I wasn't sure what to put there. Here's a gauge and a few other things. Here is like a little pocket that I had, that I made. I was making something, I think, for my Poe journals, or my Halloween journals, and that was left over. Now, these were tags that I made long ago, and I took a picture, and then I made a copy of it. Oop. And it had some traveling things on there, so I thought it would work. Here's me in an hourglass, the puffy. And that's just the back side of this one paper. And then that. I didn't put any kind of pocket here. I just loved the back, so I wanted to leave it. That's the only thing I've got here is that tuck. All right, and then you kind of like let that just kind of hang, and it holds it shut. All right, I hope you enjoyed the flip through and got some ideas from this, and got to see what I was doing lately. That one went together pretty fast too. They seem to go together really fast when I just sit here and piddle. All right, I hope everybody has had a great day, a great week. We finally got our roof done. Yay, yay, yay. I came yesterday and got it all done. And I worried about them not bringing a porta potty like they did to my brother's, and I realize why now, because they used the bushes up on the hill here. Yeah, real professional. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, everyone. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye. Take care.